Hey, good afternoon. I want to ask you, if I gave you 3 steps to help you build your team with less rejection, would that be helpful to you? So if you are joining me, let me know who you are, let me know where you're coming in from. If you're catching the replay, then please say hello. Let me know what time it is that you're watching as well. Let me know what time it is that you're catching the replay, so that I'd just love to know what time people are watching this. And let me know where you're coming in from too, so that I can come back around and say hello to you. But for those who don't know me, my name is Fran Loubser, and I help and train entrepreneurs and business owners to take their businesses from an offline to an online strategy, leveraging the power of social media so that they brand themselves and attract their perfect team members and their perfect customers to them with less rejection. How does that sound? Does that sound good to you? So if you and I want to tell you a little story, because when I first started out in this, on this entrepreneurial journey 4.5 years ago, I was told that literally everyone was my prospect and everyone needed my product, and that I needed to speak to everybody about my products. Hey Yvette, lovely to see you. That I needed to speak to everybody about my opportunity. I needed to speak to everybody about my products, because literally everybody was my prospect. Everybody would be my customer, and I just needed to find a way to bring my opportunity and my products literally into every conversation. And let me know if you've ever been told that, because I know a ton of people who've been told that. And whereas maybe everybody might need your opportunity, and maybe everybody might need your products. They're not aware of that. They're not aware that they have a problem. They're not aware that actually there is an alternative way to build an income. So they're not aware of it. Okay, so not everybody really is your prospect. Not everybody really is your perfect customer. It's Sarah, lovely to see you too. So told to make that list of 100 people and just find a way to talk, to get them all to buy your product, and that your friends and your family are all your, are all customers. And here's the thing: is I recruited a ton of family and friends, and guess what happened? They all stopped as soon as they started, because they weren't prepared to do what I was prepared to do, what I was doing. They didn't have that desire to build a business. Okay, so there are 3 things that you need to be doing to build a team, to build a successful team with less rejection. And the first thing is figuring out who your perfect prospect is, who your perfect customer is. Okay, because not everybody is your perfect customer, not everybody is your perfect prospect, but figuring out who they are, what they look like, where they're hanging out, what their pains and struggles are, what keeps them awake at night, what is it that they are having, that they worry about day and night. What is it that they wake up in a muck sweat in the middle of the night about, panicking that maybe they're not going to have enough money for retirement, maybe they're not going to have enough money, they're going to have more month at the end of the month than money. What is it that's keeping them awake at night? What are their pains? What are their struggles? What is it that they're struggling with? Okay, so figuring that out, but it's actually coming up, making sure that the person that you're talking to, that perfect prospect, that person that you're speaking to, that person who you want to join you in your team, the person who maybe is your perfect customer, the person who you want to work with, is actually it's called figure out the avatar, but that person is one person, and if you speak to that one person, you will speak to millions of people. Have you ever watched a live or read a post and you're thinking, oh my goodness, they get me, they understand me, they hear me, I feel this, they get exactly where I'm at, because when you read a post, or you watch a live, or especially reading a post, is that person that you're speaking to, the person who's written the post gets you 100%, because they have figured out that you are their perfect avatar, and when they write that post, they're writing to you. And when you write that to that one person, you will write to tons of people, hundreds, thousands of people. But when you try and speak to everybody, you'll end up speaking to nobody. If you have a general message, you'll end up speaking to nobody. So figuring out who that perfect prospect is. Then this number 2 is actually figuring out how your product or how your opportunity can help them. Okay, so figuring out, how do you, if it's your opportunity, how is it that can help them? And then the third step is how can you reduce the rejection? Because like this whole thing of, when you got to try and speak to everybody, and you try and speak to everybody and nobody's interested, and they come up with all kinds of excuses. How would it feel if when you went to post, when you went to go live, and people reaching out to you, holding their hand up, saying, I want to know more, can I get more information about this? Because if you start attracting people who are interested in what you have, if you start attracting people who are interested in what you are offering, your products or your opportunity, then they're holding their hand up and saying, yes, I want to know more. Let me know if that's something that would be helpful to you. It's got rubbish being collected outside, but anyway, I'll carry on. At least my Wi-Fi is playing today. It wasn't working yesterday. But the other problem is when you're trying to speak to everyone. I don't know if you've ever felt like you are getting stuck in messenger conversations with hundreds of people and getting stuck in that friend zone, and these conversations are going nowhere. Okay, so imagine if you could attract your perfect people to you. If you can attract your perfect people to you and have them reaching out to you, so that when you're having a conversation with somebody, they've already held their hand up and said, I want to know more. I want to learn how to attract my people to you, or I want to know more about what it's like to work with you, Fran. Imagine what that would feel like. Would that feel good? Would that be helpful if you could learn how to do that? Because if you could learn how to do that, then I'm going to drop a link down in the comments where you can actually learn how to attract your perfect people to you, where you can learn how to attract perfect customers and perfect prospects to you who want to work with you without a ton of rejection. So you're having conversations with people who are interested in working with you. You're not getting stuck in having conversations with hundreds and hundreds of people who are maybe not interested in working with you, and trying to figure out what their pains are, trying to figure out what their struggles are. Have you ever done that, where you've actually been trying to figure out, gone through the whole form thing, trying to figure out what their family is, the occupation, what they like to do for fun, what their struggles are, what their business is, would they like a side gig? And instead of going through that whole thing and trying to figure out what their struggles are, is actually putting content out there, and then people coming back to you and saying, I like this, and I need this, I need you, how can I work with you? How would that feel? So if that is something that would interest you, if that is something that would be helpful to you, then check out the link below, because I'm going to drop that link below, where you can actually learn how to attract your perfect people to you without rejection. Okay, without getting stuck in messenger conversations, going backwards and forwards for days and weeks and months on end, without ever getting anywhere. Okay, and actually having people putting their hand up and saying, I want to work with you, I want to join your team, how can you help me? So I'm going to drop that down below, but I hope this has been of value. If this has been of value, then please drop a hashtag value below, and I will be back again tomorrow with some more value for you. Until then, have an awesome day. Thanks for joining me, Heidi.